A while back, Pan and Koic posted a video showing how the A-button challenge differed on different releases of Super Mario 64. At the time, the only way to reach the secret aquarium in 0 A presses was to go through parallel universes through the castle lobby. This presented a problem since you couldn't lock the camera there. Therefore, it became a route only possible on Virtual Console and other emulators. Among the versions listed was the iQue player. After all, the iQue and N64's hardware differs a bit. iQue has this small OS that lets you choose your games. All the processors have also been compressed to fit on one chip. The iQue also has much faster RAM. But fundamentally, it's still just a Nintendo 64. So a small debate raged on. Would traveling to a PU crash the game or not on iQue? I decided to put it to the test myself. But I quickly figured out why no one else had done it before. The iQue might be the most frustrating device I've ever used. I hit roadblock after roadblock trying to test something so deceptively simple. When I got my iQue, it was unopened. Now the iQue only comes with one full game, Dr. Mario 64. Super Mario 64 is included, but it's only a timed demo. So any test I was going to perform had to be pretty fast. So I know what you might be thinking. The plan would be to quickly speedrun the game, getting 8 stars and unlocking the basement. From here we could use Hazy Maze Cave's elevator to backwards long jump to the nearest QPU. That would certainly be achievable within the time limit. But there's a small snag in that plan. The iQue release of Super Mario 64 is based on the Shindu edition, which has backwards long jumping fixed. So we aren't going to be building up any speed that way. Luckily there's other ways to get to PUs. I think we should all remember hyperspeed walking. But the simple fact of the matter is we'd have to spend hours building up speed, and obviously we can't do that in a timed demo. This is where I gave up the first time. However, recently the iQue has been hacked. It is now possible to inject any ROM into the iQue and beat the time limit. So now we're going back to plan B. We're going to go to Hazy Maze Cave and build up as much speed as we can using hyperspeed walking. But that's where we hit another roadblock. We have to perform this move in real time without any tool assistance. It's actually pretty hard to get working. You have to jam yourself into the mesh wall just right. It's super particular. Most of the time you just end up breaking free. But on the off chance you're in the correct position, you gotta build up speed until you hit -1000 and then turn around. Here's where you can potentially screw everything up. I find it really easy to lose all speed or accidentally break free. But if you do it right, then all you gotta do is wait a couple hours to travel to a PU. I guess this would be the easy part. Unfortunately, I couldn't get this to work on iQue. Emulators have a really nice feature that lets you put in cheat codes. Even regular N64s can use GameShark. We need to use a code that lets us display our speed. Without it, we're flying blind. Most of the time I thought I was building up speed, I was actually standing there doing nothing. Mario's angle has to be very specific or we're not going to build up any speed at all. So then it was suggested to me to try to get the game to crash by putting a bully out of bounds. Its angle eventually overflows and the system crashes for a similar reason to PUs. It's pretty easy to knock a bully out of bounds in real time, and we only need to wait 30 minutes. So I practiced on emulator, got it working, and then tried it on iQue. But then I hit another snag. As much as I tried, I couldn't knock the bully out of bounds. Evidently, they fixed this glitch in the Shindu edition, and therefore iQue. So this method wasn't going to work. At this point I was pretty frustrated. But then I hit a breakthrough. I realized you could inject regular N64 ROMs into the iQue. They work, although they look pretty messed up. So all we have to do is inject the American ROM and go backwards long jump, right? Yeah, you wish. But here's the next problem. Any non-iQue ROM will just shut down after 15 seconds. That doesn't exactly leave us enough time to do anything. We can barely make it a few seconds into the intro as it is. But then I realized you can inject hacked ROMs. So then I had an idea. I used the hex editor and enabled the level select, and I hexed in one of Kazi's cheats that lets you easily travel to PUs. I injected the ROM and it worked. With this we can easily get into the game within 15 seconds and travel to a PU. So you want to know what happens? It crashes. Yep, it works exactly like the N64. The camera's locked when we select a Bowser fight, so we can easily verify that Mario himself can travel to a PU, just not Lakitu. So all that worked for a pretty predictable result. But at least we know now. And at least I know why the iQue failed to catch on too. If you want the most frustrating system on the planet that can barely play games, I highly recommend it. If not, just stick to the normal Nintendo 64. You're not really missing much.